Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is 8th January 2024. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. Even before that, all of you please understand we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. All the training lessons are available at our NeoStock YouTube channel. You might be knowing the cost of the training is over $8,000 and it is a complete free training. And you can access all the training lessons from our NeoStock homepage. Please click on the tab Posts. Some of you might be seeing the tab Community. Click on the tab. You get access to this post. This post is having a YouTube playlist link that will take you to all the training lessons. You just click on the link. Now we are into the playlist Supply Demand Zone Price Action course. Here you have all the training lessons are available. You just need to scroll down to the bottom of the page. Here, starting from lesson 1.1, all the training lessons are placed in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one and strengthen your skills related to supply demand zone price action. Okay, I have also provided the link to our Telegram channel in this video description. Please join at our Telegram channel. It will be useful to you. Each time when we release a new video, we will update at our Telegram channel. Okay, now let's get into the report generation. First, let us identify stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames. During this process, we will also identify pierced zones for monthly, weekly and daily time frames. And also we will generate price closed inside monthly, weekly, daily demand zones or supply zones along with their EMA Confluence. And we will also identify daily and 75 minutes high liquidity zones. Later I will generate NIFTY, BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain and then bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly, daily income trades and finally stop buffers based on daily ATR. Okay, first I am generating the stocks near quarterly demand zone. Two stocks are filtered near to the quarterly demand zone. I am giving you only few seconds time to watch the report. So I request you pause the video, study the report. Once you complete your study, you can proceed further. In case if you don't understand how to study this report, I request you complete our training lesson 21.1. In that video, I have explained each and every column, their values, abbreviations in detail. Okay, next quarterly time frame, stocks near quarterly supply zone, 5 stocks are filtered. Next time frame is monthly, stocks near monthly demand zone, 9 stocks are filtered. Next monthly time frame, stocks near monthly supply zone, 2 stocks are filtered. Next monthly time frame, monthly pierced zones, demand zones. This is the pierced count at monthly time frame. I am setting minimum value 1 and maximum value maybe a big number 99. Let me filter the stocks. So first 19 stocks, all these are all pierced monthly demand zones. But here small mistake. I need to set the entry zone should be demand zone because the pierced parameter, the 1 and 99 should be applied to the demand zone. If you don't set a demand zone, it will be applied to either demand or supply, either side it will. So that's why our interest is only on the monthly demand zones. Now the list is come down to 16. So we have 16 pierced monthly demand zones. Maybe supply zones also could be pierced, but but our main focus is on the demand zones. These are the 16 monthly pierced demand zones are available. Let's check any of these pierced demand zones are having a monthly EMA Confluence. So monthly time frame EMA Confluence. At monthly time frame I am setting monthly demand zone having monthly EMA Confluence, and the trend on the monthly time frame should not be sideways, it can be up or down. Let's filter. We got only one stock is there. So Pierce zones will be useful for the people who completed lesson 28. There you learn Pierce zone strategies. Okay, next monthly time frame. For supply zones, monthly supply zones having pierced count on monthly time frame, minimum 1. At least once it should be pierced, or maximum 19. You won't get those many pierce count. So 10 stocks are filtered. You can always look into the pierced count in this column, but you have to apply for supply zones only, because you are looking for supply zones, your entry zone, supply zone. So that's why these filters are applied to the supply zone. Okay, out of these 10, any of these pierced zones are having EMA Confluence. Let's verify. In the EMA Confluence at monthly time frame, monthly supply zone having monthly EMA Confluence, trend on monthly time frame should not be sideways, it can be up or down. We have 4 stocks. These 4 monthly pierced supply zones are having EMA Confluence. Okay, this is about monthly pierced zones. Next, price closed inside the monthly demand zones, entry time frame monthly, and the parameter is price closed inside the monthly demand zone. It can be any. It can be pierced, non-pierced, or high liquidity, anything. Let's filter. First 20 stocks. I am scrolling the list down. Some of these zones are pierced zones, monthly demand zones. So total 38 stocks are filtered. Out of these 38, further we can reduce the list based on the EMA Confluence. So in the EMA Confluence at monthly time frame, monthly demand zone having monthly EMA Confluence, trend on monthly should not be sideways, so it can be up or down. Let's filter. Now the list is further reduced to 21. All these 21 monthly demand zones are having monthly EMA Confluence. Current price is closed inside the demand zone. Similarly, let us look for monthly pierced supply zones. So monthly time frame, price closed inside the monthly supply zone. Let's filter. We got 9 stocks. Excuse me. We got 9 stocks. Currently price closed in these 9 monthly supply zones. Out of these 9 monthly supply zones, how many are having how many are having a monthly EMA Confluence? So in the EMA Confluence monthly time frame, I am setting the filter monthly supply zone having monthly EMA Confluence, and the trend on monthly time frame should not be sideways, it can be up or down. Let me filter. You got 3 stocks. In that one is a pierced zone, even second one, third, all 3 are pierced zones only. Normal zones didn't have any EMA Confluence. So you need to look for these stocks whether you can apply any of your pierced zone strategies. That way you have to understand. Because it is a monthly zone, you can look for traps based on weekly or daily or other lower time frames. You can use a LTF zone as an horizon. You can look for inside these monthly zones any new order flows are created. You have learned all the strategies in lesson 28. Okay, this is about monthly time frame. Next time frame is weekly. Stocks near weekly demand zone. 11 stocks are filtered. Next, weekly time frame. Stocks near weekly supply zone. 3 stocks are filtered. Next, weekly time frame. Weekly time frame pierced zones. So the pierced count parameter at weekly time frame, I am setting minimum value 1, maximum value 99. Let's filter. We got a big list. 64 stocks are filtered. I am scrolling the list down. But here we made a mistake. We did not set the filter should be applied to demand zone or supply zone. Our focus is on demand zone. Which filter? Pierced count between 1 and 9. If you don't set any filter, the software consider either demand zone or supply zone. Either one it satisfies, it gives the result. That's why our focus should be only on the demand zone. If same stock supply zone is also pierced, it is a different story. We don't care. But our filter should work, search filter should work based on the demand zones. The demand zones should be pierced. And the pierced count should be between 1 and 99. In between any value, our software should display that values, those stocks. Now let me filter. Now the list is come down. Instead of, see, now 44. All these 44 demand zones are pierced. Weekly demand zones. Okay, I am scrolling the list down for your reference purpose, because later on we will further reduce this list based on EMA Confluence. Okay, I am scrolling the list down. Okay. For using this list, you can use identify traps, LTF zones, or any stocks having new order flows. Further, if you want to add even more high probability based on EMA Confluence also, I am filtering. That information will be useful for finding the new order flows inside the zones, not the traps. And EMA Confluence doesn't impact finding the traps or finding the lower time frame zones. For those concepts, you have to use all these 44 stocks. But any zones, you have new order flows. Those order flows, again, you want to plan trades, based on bullish or bearish trade setups or counter trend trade setups. Trend is important, or EMA Confluence is more important. So that way, I am filtering based on the EMA Confluence and weekly time frame, weekly demand zone having weekly EMA Confluence, and the trend on weekly time frame should not be sideways. It can be up or down. Let's filter. So now the list is come down to 10. From 44 list is come down to 10. Only these 10 pierced demand zones are having weekly EMA Confluence. Similarly, let us look for supply zones, weekly supply zones. So weekly supply zones, those supply zones pierced count on weekly time frame between 1 and maybe 99, a big value. Let's filter. So we have 26 weekly supply zones are pierced. These are the supply zones. I am scrolling the list down. So total 26 stocks are filtered. Out of these 26, how many of these pierced zones are having EMA Confluence? We can further filter. So EMA Confluence and weekly time frame, weekly supply zones having weekly EMA Confluence, and the trend on weekly time frame should not be sideways. It can be up or down. Let's filter. We got 8 stocks. These 8 weekly supply zones are having weekly EMA Confluence. Okay, this is about weekly pierced zones. Next, price closed inside the weekly zones. So weekly time frame, price closed inside the weekly demand zones. First we will look for weekly demand zones. We got a big list. 66 stocks are filtered where price closed inside weekly demand zone. Some of those zones can be pierced zones. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 66 weekly demand zones are filtered where price closed inside these demand zones. Let us further filter these stocks based on the EMA Confluence. Weekly demand zones having weekly EMA Confluence. So in the EMA Confluence weekly time frame, I am enabling the filter weekly demand zone having weekly EMA Confluence. And trend on weekly time frame should not be sideways. It can be up or down. Let's filter. Now this is the list further reduced. First 18 stocks in the list. See, some of these zones are pierced zones. You can always look into the signal type. And also you can look into the PAE column and look into the demand zones, not in the supply zones. Okay, I'm scrolling the list down. So total 24 stocks. From 66, the list is come down to 24. Okay, now similarly, let us look for supply zones also. Price closed inside the supply zone for weekly time frame. Price inside any supply zone. Any means it can be pierced zone, or it can be normal zone, or it can be high liquidity zone, anything. Because you selected the time frame weekly, these are the weekly supply zones. Okay, let us filter. So now we have 20 stocks, and the first 15 stocks we are seeing in this list. I am scrolling the list down. So total 20 stocks are filtered where price closed inside the weekly supply zone. Out of these 20, how many of these supply zones are having weekly EMA Confluence? Let's filter. In the EMA Confluence at weekly time frame, I am setting the filter weekly supply zone having weekly EMA Confluence. And trend on weekly time frame should not be sideways. It can be up or down. Let's filter. We got 10 stocks. These 10 weekly supply zones are having weekly EMA Confluence. So this is about weekly time frame. Next time frame is a daily. Entry time frame daily. Let us find the stocks near daily demand zone. 12 stocks are filtered. Let us identify high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. Axis Bank is having a high liquidity daily demand zone. Siemens is pierced, so we can't use for HLQ zone strategy. That's it. We have 12 stocks filtered, but only one high liquidity daily demand zone is available in this list. Okay, next week daily time frame. Let us find the stocks near daily supply zone. So total 16 stocks are filtered. First 15 stocks. I am scrolling the list. Total 16 stocks. Okay, now let us identify high liquidity zones. First one is AU Bank is having a high liquidity daily supply zone. And Indus Bank. IndusInd Bank is having high liquidity daily supply zone. That's it. We have two high liquidity daily supply zones from this list. Okay, next for daily time frame, pierced zones. The demand zones should be pierced So that's why daily demand zones in the pierced count at a daily time frame I am setting minimum value 1, maximum value say 99. Let's filter. We got 64 stocks. So first 15 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. So total 64 PRs to the daily demand zones we have identified. Out of these 64 demand zones, how many are having a daily EMA Confluence? Let's verify. In the EMA Confluence, daily time frame, setting the filter, daily demand zone having daily EMA Confluence, and trend on daily time frame should not be sideways, it can be up or down. Let's filter. Now the list is come down to 6. All these 6 peers daily demand zones are having daily EMA Confluence. Okay, this is about daily time frame demand zone, peers demand zones. Next, daily time frame peers supply zones. Entry time frame is daily. Entry zone is supply zone. In the pierced count parameter at daily time frame, minimum value I am setting 1, maximum value 99. With these filters we got 33 stocks are filtered. That means 33 daily supply zones are pierced. Okay, first 15 stocks you are seeing in the list. I am scrolling the list down. So total 33 stocks are filtered. Out of these 33, how many of these daily supply zones are having EMA Confluence? Let us further filter. In the EMA Confluence, daily time frame, daily supply zone having daily EMA Confluence, and the trend on daily time frame should not be sideways, it can be up or down. So 8 stocks are filtered. These 8 pierced supply zones are having a daily EMA Confluence. Okay, this is about pierced zones on daily time frame. Next, on daily time frame, price closed inside the zones. So first for daily time frame, price closed inside the daily demand zone. Let us filter. We got a big list. 79 stocks are there. We have price closed inside. Of course, some of these stocks are pierced zones. I am scrolling the list down. So total 79 stocks are filtered. Out of these 79, how many of these daily demand zones are having daily EMA Confluence? So I am adding EMA Confluence filter on daily time frame having daily demand zone having daily EMA Confluence, and the trend on the daily time frame should not be sideways, it can be up or down. Let's filter. Now the list is come down to 21 instead of 79. So first 16 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. So total 21 stocks are filtered. All these daily demand zones are having daily EMA Confluence, and current price is closed inside the daily zone. Some of these zones are pierced zones. Okay, next let us look for the supply zones on daily time frame. pierced, so not pierced, price closed inside the daily supply zones. So total 20 stocks are filtered. So first 15 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. So total 20 stocks are filtered where price closed inside the daily supply zone. Out of these 20 daily supply zones, how many are having daily EMA Confluence? Let us further filter. In the EMA Confluence daily time frame, I am setting the filter daily supply zone having daily EMA Confluence, and the trend in daily time frame should not be sideways. It can be up or down. Let's filter. Now 5 stocks only filtered. Currently price closed inside these 5 daily supply zones. Out of these 5, 3 are pierced zones. Because these are pierced zones, now easily you can analyze these 3 stocks. Okay, this is about the daily time frame. Next time frame is 125 minutes. Stocks near 125 minutes demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. So total 22 stocks are filtered. Stocks near 125 minutes demand zone. Okay, next 125 minutes time frame. Stocks near 125 minutes supply zone. We have 6 stocks. Okay, next time frame is 75 minutes. Entry time frame 75 minutes. Let us find the stocks near 75 minutes demand zone. So total 18 stocks are filtered. Let us identify high liquidity 75 minutes demand zones from this list. NIFTY Healthcare not listed in indices, so we don't look into this stock. Same is the case with NIFTY Reality also. This is also in indices, not listed in F&O. Supply is having a high liquidity 75 minutes demand zone. KEA is having a high liquidity 75 minutes demand zone. PA Industries is having a high liquidity demand zone. Sonacoms is having a high liquidity demand zone. That's it. We have identified 4 high liquidity 75 minutes demand zones from this list. Okay, next for 75 minutes time frame, let us find the stocks near 75 minutes supply zone. We got 2 stocks. In these 2 stocks, we don't have any high liquidity 75 minute supply zones. Okay, next time frame is 25 minutes. Stocks near 25 minutes demand zone. 7 stocks are filtered. Okay, next 25 minutes time frame. Stocks near 25 minutes supply zone. We got 9 stocks. Okay, next time frame is 15 minutes. Stocks near 15 minutes demand zone. We got 8 stocks. Out of these 8, how many are having ITF demand zone confluence? That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. Let us filter based on this. 6 stocks are filtered. All these 6 15 minutes demand zones are part of the 75 minutes demand zone. That is what zone confluence with ITF time frame. 15 is the LTF and 75 minutes time frame is ITF. Okay, next 15 minutes time frame. Stocks near 15 minutes supply zone. We got 5 stocks. Out of these 5, how many are having ITF supply zone confluence? That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. Enable the filter. We got 2 stocks. These 2 15-minute supply zones are part of the 75 minutes supply zone. That is what zone confluence. Okay, next time frame is 5 minutes. stocks near 5 minutes demand zone, we got 15 stocks. Out of these 15 5 minutes demand zone, how many are having ITF demand zone confluence? That is 5 minutes and 15 minutes demand zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. Now we got 6 stocks. In these 6 stocks, these 5 minutes demand zones are part of the 15 minutes demand zone. Okay, next 5 minutes time frame, stocks near 5 minutes supply zone, we got 8 stocks. Out of these 8 supply zones, how many are having ITF supply zone confluence? Let's verify. That is 5 minute supply zone with 15 minute supply zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. With this filter, we got 4 stocks. Out of these 4, first one is a pierced zone, we can't use that. So the remaining 3 15 minutes supply zones are part of the 75 minute supply zone. So this is about stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames. Next, we will generate NIFTY and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain. Let me start with NIFTY. Generating monthly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. So this is NIFTY monthly supply demand zone chain. Always look into the zone column to find the pierced zones. To find the high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. Always look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. So apply these rules for the remaining reports. Okay, next, weekly time frame, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Okay, next, daily supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. We have very few demand zones are there. I am scrolling the list down to access more demand zones. Okay, next, 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. All these are all supply zones. To get demand zones, I am scrolling the list down. Okay, this is about NIFTY supply demand zone chain. Next, I will generate BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain. That is nothing but NIFTY Bank. So generating a monthly supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, weekly supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, daily supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. You have very few demand zones are there. To get more demand zones, I am scrolling the list down. So this is about Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. Now let us generate bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly and daily income trades. First, monthly income trade bullish trade setup, entry time frame daily, entry zone demand zone, bullish or bearish trade setup at daily. I am selecting bullish, and the daily demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, only monthly time frame I will ignore the pierced count, because daily time frame, because entry time frame daily. So any bullish trade setup pierced zones, you may get more trade opportunities inside the zones. Let us verify any repeated order flows are there inside. But weekly onwards, I will eliminate the pierced zones. So I am setting a zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhancer score 12. Let's filter. So total 17 stocks are filtered. First 16 in the list. I am scrolling the list down. You have few pierced zones are there. Okay. Out of these 17, we can further filter based on zone confluence. First filter LTF, ITF demand zone confluence. That is nothing but daily and weekly demand zone confluence. So with these filters, how many stocks we are getting? 15 stocks we got. Out of 15, in all these 15, these daily demand zones are part of the weekly demand zone. That's why let us verify how many of the weekly demand zones are having weekly EMA confluence. And weekly trend is also up in all these stocks, ITF trend. So in the EMA confluence weekly time frame, I am setting the filter weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. We got 8 stocks. We don't have any pierced zones here. All are eliminated in this filter. Okay. Next, let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. Removing EMA filter. So in the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First is the daily and weekly demand zone confluence, already enabled. Daily demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence, second filter. And third filter, weekly demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence, we got 4 stocks. In these 4 stocks, these daily demand zones are part of the weekly demand zone, both together again part of the monthly demand zone. Here one stock is having 2 stocks are pierced zones. Okay, out of these 4, how many of these stocks are having HTF EMA confluence, that is monthly EMA. You can't use third one, it is sideways trend. So in the EMA confluence at monthly time frame, monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. Ignore the third one, it is a sideways trend. You can also set the filter here in the trend at a daily time, the monthly time frame. It should not be sideways, it can be up or down trend. So you got only 2 stocks, both are uptrend. Because it is bullish trade setup, these 2 are even more high probability trade setup supported stocks. But first one is a pierced zone, demand zone. Okay, this is about bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup, monthly income trade, entry time frame daily, entry zone, supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup daily, I am selecting bearish, and pierced count on daily time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Actually, pierced count daily time frame I am ignoring. So let me keep the default values here. So I am not only daily time frame, I am not eliminating pierced zones. So remaining filters, zone achievement, minimum order enhances score 12, we have to set. These two filters are applied to daily supply zone. Let's filter. We got only 2 stocks. And these two are not pierced supply zones. Okay, out of these two, how many are having ITF supply zone confluence to look for high probability setups? In the supply zone confluence, I am setting the filter daily supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence. With this filter, both stocks are filtered. Now let's verify the first one is having both are downtrend, ITF trend. Daily zone is part of weekly. Let us verify weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. So weekly time frame, weekly supply zone with weekly EMA confluence. One stock is filtered. This is even more high probability trade setup supported stock. Next, we will verify those two zones are having HTF confluence, removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, LTF, ITF already we set daily with weekly, daily with monthly supply zone confluence, weekly with monthly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we did not get any stock. That means there is no LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. Okay, this is about bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, bullish trade setup for monthly income trade, entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, demand zone, bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes, I am selecting bullish. These 75 minutes demand zones should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Zone achievement violated, opposing zone, minimum order enhances score 12. All 3 filters are applied to 75 minutes demand zone. We got 6 stocks. Out of these 6 75 minutes demand zone, how many are having ITF demand zone confluence? That is 75 with daily demand zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. With this filter, out of 7, 4 stocks are filtered. In these 4 stocks, these 75 minutes demand zones are part of the daily demand zone, and daily trend is up in all the stocks. Let us look for daily demand zone with daily EMA confluence. So daily time frame, daily demand zone with daily EMA confluence filter is enabled. With this filter, out of 4, 2 stocks are filtered. These 2 are even more high probability trade setup supported zones. Yesterday, one of these zones is not tested. Today, it got a test. Probably Chambalfet, if I am not wrong, please correct me. Okay. Next, let us look for LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence. I am removing this EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to, this is a demand zone confluence. LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. We should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled. Next, 75 with weekly demand zone confluence, daily with weekly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 3 stocks. Out of these 3, first one and third one is having uptrend. Let us verify they are having any weekly EMA confluence. So in the EMA confluence weekly time frame, because 75 together with daily zone is part of the weekly zone, that's why we are setting weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. Trend on weekly time frame should not be sideways. It can be up or down, but bullish trade setup it is always up. So one stock is filtered. So this is even more high probability trade setup demand zone. Moreover, it is also high liquidity demand zone, Bajaj Finance. Okay, this is about bullish trade setup weekly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup weekly income trade, entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, supply zone, bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes. I am selecting bearish. The 75-minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Zone achievement violated, opposing zone, minimum order enhances score 12. Let's filter. We got 12 stocks. All these 12 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frames are 75-minute supply zones. Out of these 12 stocks, let us identify high probability zones based on LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. First filter. That is a 75-minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. With this filter, we got 6 stocks. In these 6 stocks, these 75-minute supply zones are part of this daily supply zone, and daily trend is down in all these stocks. Let us set the filter in the EMA Confluence daily supply zone with daily EMA Confluence. Because the 75-minute supply zone is part of the daily supply zone. We got one stock. This is even more high probability trade setup, supported stock. This is LTF ITF supply zone with EMA Confluence, ITF EMA Confluence. Next, let us look for LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence. I am removing EMA filter. So in the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. This is the first one already enabled. Next, 75 with weekly supply zone confluence, daily with the weekly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone, we don't have any stocks. So this is bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, bullish trade setup daily income trade, entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone, demand zone, bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes time frame. I am selecting bullish, and this 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Zone achievement violated, opposing zone, minimum order enhances score 12. Let's filter the stocks. We got 5 stocks. These 5 are bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame 15 minutes, demand zones. Out of these 5, there could be some high probability stocks. First filter is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. Let us filter. That is the 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence filter is enabled. With this, out of 5, 4 stocks are filtered. In these 4, these 15 minutes demand zones are part of the 75 minutes demand zone. And 75 minutes trend is up in all these stocks. Let's verify EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame. That is 75 minutes demand zone having a daily EMA confluence filter is enabled because 15 minutes demand zone is part of the 75 minutes demand zone. Let's verify. We got 2 stocks. So these 2 are even more high probability trade setup, 15 minutes demand zones. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. Remove the EMA filter. That is 15, 75 and daily demand zone confluence. So first filter is already enabled in the demand zone confluence. 15 minutes demand zone. Yeah, this is the first filter already enabled. Next, 15 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 3 stocks. In all these 3 stocks, these 15 minutes demand zones are part of the 75 minutes demand zone. Both together again part of the daily demand zone. And daily trend is up in all the 3 stocks. If any of these stocks are having daily EMA confluence, they are even more high probability trade setup supported stocks. Let us verify. In the EMA confluence, at a daily time frame, because 15 minute zone together with 75 minute zone is part of the daily zone. That's why we are setting daily demand zone having daily EMA Confluence. We got all the three stocks. That means all the three stocks are more high probability trade setup supported stocks. Moreover, all the three stocks are also high liquidity demand zones, 15 minutes demand zones. Okay, this is about bullish trade setup, daily income trade. Next, bullish trades, bearish trade setup, daily income trade, entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone, supply zone, bullish or bearish trade setup parameter at 15 minutes. I am selecting bearish. These 15 minute supply zones should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means zone is not pierced. Zone achievement VOZ, violated opposing zone, and odd enhancer score is 12. All three filters are applied to 15 minute supply zone. Let's filter the stocks. So total we got 19 stocks. So first 15 stocks that are supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade. I am scrolling the list down. So total 19 stocks are filtered. Bearish trade setup, daily income trade, and entry time frame zones are 15 minute supply zones. We have to look into supply zones. Out of these 15 minute supply zones, we can further filter based on the zone confluence. First filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. So let me enable that filter, 15 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone confluence. Now let's verify out of 19 how many will filter. Out of 19, 16 stocks are filtered. First 15 stocks you are seeing. I am scrolling the list down. Total 16 stocks. Out of these 16, how many of these supply zones are having EMA Confluence? Because all these 16 supply zones are part of the 15 minute supply zones, are part of the 75 minute supply zone, and 75 minutes trend is down in all these stocks, that is ITF trend. If any of those 75 minute supply zones are having daily EMA Confluence, they are even more high probability trade setup supported stocks. Let us verify. In the EMA Confluence at 75 minutes time frame, because 15 minute supply zone is part of the 75 minute supply zone, that's why we are setting the filter 75 minute supply zone with daily EMA Confluence. Let's filter. We got 3 stocks. These 3 are even more high probability trade setup supported supply zones. Okay, next let us filter based on LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence. I am removing this EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, we have to set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled, 15 with 75 minute zone confluence. Next 15 minutes supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. 75 minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. Filters also enabled. With all the 3 filters, we got 11 stocks. In these 11 stocks, these 15 minutes supply zones are part of the 75 minute supply zone. Again, both together part of the daily supply zone. And the daily trend is down in few stocks, and any of those daily trend down stocks are having daily EMA Confluence. They are even more high probability trade setup supported stocks. Let us verify. In the EMA Confluence at daily time frame. Why daily? Because 15 minute zone together with 75 minute zone is part of the daily zone. That's why we are setting daily supply zone having daily EMA Confluence. The HTF trend should be sideways. Should not be sideways. HTF trend. Because EMA Confluence does not give any advantage if it is sideways. That's why in the trend and daily I am selecting downtrend, because it is bearish trade setup. So let's verify. We got 2 stocks. These 2 are even more high probability trade setup supply zones. Okay, this is about bearish trade setup daily income trade. And final report, let us generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. First 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. I am scrolling the list down. whichever the stock you want to refer, there you please pause the video. After that you can proceed further. Okay, I'm scrolling the list down. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.